Reverend Richard Boone. You mind introducing yourself to the people and let them know who you are?
Well, my name is Richard Boone. I'm the father of Daoud Boone, who has been incarcerated for the past 5 years for a murder he didn't commit, and a lot of problems with the trial, but they went on anyway and convicted him in 30 minutes for the murder of Sylvia Perry.
Okay, something I find surprising that there were more than, they claim there was only one person. Well, this happened to Igor's about 6 years ago. Igor's in Montgomery, Alabama.
Right.
Let me see how to ask this so that people can understand where we can do this in a short period of time. And I just ask that you just speak up a little bit louder. She was shot sitting in her car. Through my investigation, I found out that there was a lot of people there that night, but they tried to make it seem like there was only a few people there that night. They were having a strip party.
Yes, sir.
Correct? A strip party?
Yeah, strip show, strip party, whatever.
Right, a strip show, whatever.
Yeah.
And now my sources say that they know of one police officer, one Montgomery police officer that works for the Montgomery Police Department was there. But how many do you believe or have you heard were there?
Well, I believe that there were at least from 2 to 4.
Montgomery Police Department officers.
Right, that's correct.
Okay. Now, the owner of the club was Blackwell. I don't remember his first name, but he is now dead. He was murdered, execution style. Now, I've also heard it say that she was shot. The witnesses say that somebody stood behind her passenger, her driver's door back behind her car on the driver's door, on the driver's side, is shot through the back window. It entered into the back window, through the back of the driver's seat, out of the front of the driver's seat, then into her left back shoulder, and then it left out of her right breast, and a projectile landed on the floorboard of the vehicle. Now, I understand this, and after looking at the forensic photographs, there's a big giant plug that's coming out of the back of her shoulder.
That is correct.
But then there's a little small hole in her right breast, which makes it look like the entry wound was in her right breast and the exit wound was in her left back shoulder. But they say different. Now, I remember you telling me about forensics, and I'll ask you to speak up a little bit louder. Did you hear somebody tell you of the entry wound being from the inside of the car?
Yes.
And then they changed the story later that it came from the back, right?
Right. And that it came from the back.
Okay. Now, I did hear that somebody was sitting in the car with her, another female, but we get one of the guys that was security guard drove her to the Baptist hospital, correct?
That is what is said, yes.
Right. Okay. Now, by your own evidence and what you gathered, how long do you think she sat on that parking lot before they decided to drive her off to the hospital?
She sat on the parking lot from 30 to 45 minutes before they made then it made a decision to drive her to the hospital. And what I don't understand is why they did not, at the point that they found that there was something wrong, if there was, they did not call the police department, 911.
Right. So there was obviously some funny business going on.
That's right.
After she got shot. Some people were lingering around, and we do have eyewitnesses that there were a lot of cars there. When she got shot, she did hit a white vehicle. It was either a white pickup truck or a white SUV, and that SUV or white pickup truck or white SUV is left the scene of the crime.
Right.
That's a crime right there. They said that one person, after the shooter drove out of the parking lot, and we're going to get back to that, what kind of car and what color. They said one guy shot 6 times.
Right.
Right?
The security officer, one of the security officers, shot 6 times, they said.
Okay. Now, my proof shows that there were 3 or 4 people shooting at the vehicle.
And I feel the same way, and have heard,
Okay.
same thing.
And the police claim when they picked up evidence, they found the 6 shell casings,
Right.
5 in the parking lot, and then 1 was in the grass. And I will get some pictures for everybody later that'll show you basically what Igor's parking lot looked like. Okay. Now on the police radio, we hear that first it was a burgundy car, correct?
Yeah, burgundy car.
Okay, first it was a burgundy car that left Igor's, headed towards 85.
Right.
But Daoud lived to the left.
Right.
But they say this vehicle left going to the right, which is 85.
Right.
And for him to drive all the way that direction to get home, it would have took him a long time to get there.
That is correct.
Okay. Then they changed the vehicle from a burgundy vehicle to a blue vehicle.
Right.
Then later on they changed it from a blue to a black vehicle.
Right. That's correct.
Okay. Now, it went from burgundy to blue to black. Do you know the person's name who called out your son's name?
No, I do not know.
Okay, but somebody gave the police that name, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're gonna skip forward a little bit because the guy drove her to the hospital, and hopefully I'm gonna go tomorrow and talk to somebody at that hospital, see if they remember anything. But let's go to the point where they arrested Daoud.
Right.
They arrested him within an hour of the police arriving at Igor's, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now keep this in mind now. At first it was a burgundy car.
Right.
Then it was a blue car.
Yeah.
Then it was a black car.
Yeah.
And this was all on the police radio.
That's right.
Okay. When they found Daoud Boone, where was he at that time?
He was on Mobile Drive, coming from his sister's house, coming home.
Was he driving or walking?
He was walking.
So he was walking. Okay. Now, as I'm told, the police came there, picked him up. His mother's car is a black vehicle. We won't get into the name brands yet.
Right.
Did they feel the car to see if the motor was warm?
No, they didn't do any tests. They didn't check the car at all. Yeah,
Okay, did they do anything to see if he had any type of gunpowder residue from firing a weapon?
They did not check him to see if he had gunpowder residue at all.
Okay, now, some evidence I didn't tell you about that I found out. I might have told you, I don't think so, but I was told that the car that the shooter was driving in was a foreign car, possibly a Honda or Toyota.
Okay.
Most likely a Toyota. What kind of car did your wife have?
Chrysler.
Chrysler.
Yes.
Chrysler and Toyota looks nothing alike.
Not at all.
Okay, but we do know it was a foreign car that they left in. Now I'm going to go to the preliminary hearing.
Okay.
And just going to move a little bit forward. Then we're going to get on to some other things because you have a lot of things to say about other things too.
Absolutely.
But we're going to finish up with this case about your son, and we will do more videos.
Okay.
Now, the preliminary, and I'm going to have to say that she was shot from within inside the vehicle because of the entry wound being so small and tiny without very little blood draining from the entry wound. And then the exit wound coming from the back left shoulder. So I'm going to rely on the two specialists that I talk with telling me that she was shot from within inside the car. That means that the person, Ralph, Antonio Ralph,
yes,
who said he saw Daoud Boone.
Well,
Did he say he saw Daoud Boone or he saw somebody?
no, he said he saw Daoud.
So he said he saw your son shoot this girl from outside of the car.
That is correct.
From the back.
Right. And he said that Daoud had on a hoodie and that he recognized him at night in a hoodie with it, holding his own, and said he came up and shot multiple times inside the car. And that he was sure that it was Daoud.
Well, if he shot multiple times in the car, there's only one entrance wound, entrance in the car of the bullet.
Right.
Only one. There would have been two.
Would have been two.
Or more.
Right.
So there was only one.
Right.
Okay. And as we know of, as I see it, the bullet went into her right breast, came out of her left back shoulder, out of the back of the driver's chair, out the back passenger window. That's how the bullet exited the vehicle. That way the police could in no way find any projectile in the vehicle.
Absolutely, and they did not find one in the vehicle.
So they had to fabricate one.
It took them 2.5 weeks or more to fabricate and to come up with a projectile. And it was a projectile, it's not difficult to get a projectile and dip it in somebody's blood and have a DNA on it, because they had access to the blood of Sylvia at the funeral home.
At the morgue?
Morgue and the funeral home.
And the funeral home.
Right.
Let's talk. We got about 2 minutes. Let's talk about the funeral director, or one of the guys that worked there.
Right.
Who was the guy that she was dating?
The guy that she was dating was.
Well, let's not say dating, living with.
Was the son or grandson of the funeral home owner.
Riley. And Ross.
Not Ross.
Ross and Clayton.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll edit that Riley out. Ross and Clayton.
Right.
Ross and Clayton, and Ross is the grandson, one of the Ross boys.
Right, that's right.
Okay. And one last thing, she did have a black eye.
Right.
They're trying to say that black eye happened that same night.
Right.
But it's obviously that it happened a couple of nights before, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. And last thing, do you feel like the attorneys that handled the case, do you think they were on the side of Daoud or on the side of the judicial system?
I don't think that they were on the side of Daoud. I know that they were on the side of the judicial system, and they were sure that Daoud would be convicted, because they had planned for his conviction, and they were the instruments of his conviction because they didn't represent his interests at that, at the trial. There was a lot of bickering, and the lawyers couldn't get along, and so Daoud suffered as a result of that.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's about it. There is one little thing I want to bring forward. This guy Blackwell has been having strip parties for over 3 years in different locations, and police officers have been going there while off duty to have fun, to pass out dollars or whatever they was doing. They were there to enjoy the entertainment.
Right.
They weren't there under investigation.
That is correct.
Because it doesn't take 3 years to investigate a strip party ring, a stripping ring. Right. So, anyway, so now we know we have dirty cops in there. We know we have Blackwell, who was also dirty, but now he's dead. And we have Sylvia Yvonne Perry, who is dead. And then we have Daoud Boone, who is in prison. For obviously something it was almost seems impossible that he could do. You say he was found walking.
Yes.
They never tested the vehicle to see if the engine was warm.
They never tested the vehicle to see if the engine was warm.
And they never tested him to see if he had any gunpowder residue on him.
Didn't test him to see if he had any residue on him, even though they picked him up 30 minutes to an hour during the time of the murder. That murder.